Happy Disability Pride Month. We are still here. Call it Illness Chronicles because everybody, I tell y'all, it's not better or worse, it's just different. But no matter what, it's an illness, right? So the Illness Chronicles is we continue to grow. And for those of you who are new, in 2015, I had a spinal cord injury, been disabled ever since. Like, I was very, very active. And I tell people, so I was over 400 pounds. And at my highest weight, I was still over there hiking and doing things. And in 2013, I had a lap band. Lost over 150 pounds. I was good. I was just doing my thing. I turned 30, like I said, and then boom. What people don't realize when it comes to a spinal cord injury or traumatic brain injury, it's literally in the snap of a finger. Every single thing in my life turned upside down. Topsy-turvy, as they say in Mary Poppins. Literally upside down. Because not only was the grief and loss of people leaving, it was, at that time, it wasn't even grief and loss of who I was before. It was just like, oh my gosh, I was still fighting for what I had. And then I had to get to the point as I continued to grow, because now it's going to be 9 years. So it went through my whole 30s with this. And it's been one hell of a journey. And you know, mark my words, I told y'all before my 40th birthday, which was on May 25th, I said, you know, at some point, I hope I can sit here and tell you all something different, because my thing was always like, how, like, who can live like this, who has a quality of life that is like this, you know. Bear with me for the bandana, y'all. It's supposed to be a scrunchy one and it's driving me crazy. Thank you for your patience. You know, and then I got to the point where, you know, getting into a marriage, walking away from a parent, deciding and realizing that, you know, this injury and what it's caused, going into spinal cord atrophy, going into complex seizures with Todd's paralysis. You know, we talk about these things. There will be a point where it will be me and someone responsible for me. I won't be able to move and do things by myself at all, right? Unlike now, I try to push to do certain things. And I said to myself, you know, abusive marriage, I couldn't go anywhere. And this was before COVID even started. COVID was the golden ticket. And I said, Crystal, you need to stop running. Stop running from your trauma. Stop running from a diagnosis. Stop running from being compliant with medication. Because the mental illnesses that I manage is not just anxiety or depression. It is psychotic illnesses like bipolar 1. People deal with borderline personality disorder. And it doesn't mean that having generalized anxiety doesn't matter. It just means it's not better or worse. It's just different. And when each of us have our own individual things. And so healing my mind, I said, because at some point I'm going to be at that point where someone's responsible for me. So what can I do to make that time easier? And how can I do it now, right? We talk about getting out of the problem into the solution. I said, well, you need to start a healing journey, because at best you could be good up here, right? I tell y'all, you got to be good with yourself, mind, body, spirit, no matter what, because you won't be good for anybody else. And when it comes to weight, gaining weight back after the back injury, and that's a whole nother thing with body dysmorphia and stuff like that. But to say I will be as light as I possibly can to be able to be moved as easy as possible. You know, realistic expectations here. It's a very sedentary lifestyle. The grief and loss that started to set in when I started my healing journey, I thought that going through the healing of the childhood trauma, I thought that going through the healing of consistently, like every year that went by, walking away from my mother, ending the marriage ended, finally being able to get out of that, and realizing that, you know what? I've been running from my own self. We grieve the person that we were. We grieve the life that we had. And sometimes even now, because we're only human, I can sit here and cry, believe me when I tell you. And I'm working on getting things around the house. I told Boo I want to get all the pictures printed of the places, because I used to travel, all the places I've been, all the things that I've done, that I accomplished. I want to see these things because I'm tired of grieving that life. I'm tired of saying, I used to do that and I can't do it anymore. Or I can't do that because of XYZ. Because I'm prepared to say, hey, look what I did. Look where I've been. Look how amazing this was. Look how beautiful the Santorini pictures are, you know? And obviously, I can't do it again. and just allow people to see the goodness in it, to allow me to validate myself, to consider and see all the goodness in it all the time. And that's part of me trying to move forward with the grieving journey of the person I was before that injury, before that happened just like that. And it's not easy. It will never be easy. But I know that I'm human, and I know that I continue to work on myself every day. And every single day, sometimes there are thoughts that come in. When I get up and I decide I want to do something and I can't, fry an egg on the stove. I mean, simple shit, y'all. Because I can't stand there. That's why we're getting the power chair, right? So I could be able to maybe cook Boo a meal. Right? I used to love cooking and baking. I did catering on the side. And I'm half Puerto Rican, so during the holidays, pasteles, I used to do rum cake, rum balls, all this stuff. And then it just stopped. It was like a moment in time where everything just froze, and I didn't know what was going to happen after that. And I said, mark my words, one day I'm going to be able to tell y'all this. And here we are almost 2 months after my 40th birthday, and guess what? My 30s was a tough ride. My 30s started where I was at the top of the world, and I went into my 40s technically feeling like I was scum of the earth. But I've been working on it. And now, guess what? That was one hell of a decade. One of the most difficult decades to go through. Walking away from a parent, having an abusive, toxic wife, abusive, right? Being able to get out of that. Even meeting Boo, right? Her entering into this new phase of life with me. Entering into the 40s, this next phase that says, hey, Crystal, that was then. Let's celebrate then instead of crying over it. Quotations. Remember, y'all, common sense. Not a professional, not licensed, right? And then be able to say, you know what? I'm here, y'all. 8 attempts later, throughout life, and I'm here, and I'm breathing. If you're watching me, that means you're breathing. That means there's more right with us than wrong. So remember, you're not alone. We're in it together, and I love you.